All right, we're continuing Midas versus Tezuka. They've tied 2 games. I think Tezuka got some pressure in the first one, but Midas found a really good hold. Midas had some pressure in the second one, though he did break stips and had an overpowered hand to get there. Um, and we're moving on to game 3. Good game so far. Well played by both sides. I think my favorite move of the games was probably Midas's reply to Tezuka's starter in game 1. That kind of move where you say, I want the game to be up-down, really speaks to me. Though I think in game 2, actually, Tezuka did a very similar thing with a move in 4, turning the game left-right. So in game 1, Midas said, I have an up-down advantage, you're good side to side, I will make the game up-down. In game 2, Tezuka said, even though we both have Rhinoa, I have last turn, mine sweeps yours, I'm going to make the game side to side. I also thought it might be nice to talk about a comparison between these two just superb players and sort of what they've each accomplished. So on the wins leaderboard, Tezuka has, entering this tournament, this is not updated for this tournament, so they've each won 3 more games, I think. Tezuka has 45 wins after this tournament, 42 not including it, but let's assume 45 if he wins this, 46. And that puts him ahead of D, Akiyama, Sujiro, Piggyman, Jadat, Grat, Yevon, bunch of other big names, and just behind Chickeny. And he's close, and given that Chickeny is not active, he's quite close to being the 16th player ever to break 50 tournament wins. Midas, with this tournament, joins the 40-win club. He is the 26th player to join the 40-win club. Such greats as Kazakh, Mafijosi, Scythe, Broccoli are not in the 40-win club. Dream Virus, Patriot, Amo, Reye, all these players, Bren, not in the 40-win club. And Midas got there with this tournament and will be at least 42, which ties him with Akiyama for most tournament wins, just behind D. So that's pretty cool. They're currently including this tournament, basically 17th and 19th. For championships, Tezuka has one and Midas does not. But for finals, Midas has now made his 4th finals, and this is Tezuka's 2nd finals. So Midas has made more finals. For semifinals, however, I think it flips. This is Tezuka's 6th semifinal and Midas's 5th, so Tezuka has the lead there. For my icon count, this is Tezuka's 12th icon and Midas's 8th. Again, they both have so many and everything. These are very good players. In the overall achievement list of kind of if we aggregate wins and stuff, championship is worth 1,000 points, finals 500, semis 250, quarterfinals 125. Tezuka is coming into this tournament 18th at the list at 2750. Including this tournament, he will jump to 3250 and 16th. Midas is at 2125. He will jump to 2625, tied with Sujiro for 19th. So that's, again, pretty sick for both of them. Yeah, I mean, these are just... they've done a lot. They have achieved rather a lot. Let's look at the position. And for my notes, I'm going to write down if elements are relevant. So, do we have another first turn for Tezuka? Tezuka Midas, elements in 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, plus 1s with, it's again only 5, 8, 7, 3, and it's in 1 or 8. All right. It's not too much to worry about there. I'm a little surprised Tezuka keeps sticking with this hand, though we see Midas has gone back to his original hand. I do not think we will see 6, 4, 1, 4, and 5 again. That seemed dangerous. Might be a nice time to play 6, 4, 1, 4, and 1, the move I have been expecting. And we also have never seen a starter with 4, 2, 4, 2. And you might imagine, at some point, depending on the hands, but like, you look at these hands and you see, okay, Midas has no 8s up or down. And Yeah, A4 A2 is a problem, but there might be reason to use 4-2-4-2, right? You maybe want to save it. Maybe it is more play later than 6-4-1-4. Controlling those A's is really valuable. Uh, so I think we'll probably see another 6-4-1-4 starter, but given enough games, probably 4-2-4-2 will start at some point. Yeah. What to talk about if I'm not going to be thinking about moves? And if you don't want to fight with Elemental, it's nice to have a move or two played, and so there's something to sink your teeth into rather than the vague position. So I'm going to be lazy. I can talk about what TV I've been watching. Or I could not do that. Let's go with not. Anything happening in the chat? They say things like good luck to each other. And Midas said he likes the synergies of Tezuka's hand. I'm curious on my all-time rankings how this tournament is going to move these two players. Let's think about how that lands. Coming into this tournament, I'm loading it up, so it'll take a sec. I forgot I have to press, if I reload this way, then I don't have to scroll down again. Perfect. Alright, well that loads. I do think it makes sense. Okay, Tezuka's picked up 6-4-1-4, which is the starter we expect to see, and it goes back in 5. So I made one prediction this game, and it was incorrect. It's that we wouldn't see 6-4-1-4 and 5 again. I think Midas was on to the right thing. I think Midas should say here, I want an up-down game. Can he do it in a way where 2-8-8-5 isn't as dominant? So one thing Midas did that I liked was 2-2-4-4 went in 8 last time and said, I'm going to make the game up-down because I'm much better up-down, and you have very limited down power, so I'm going to make the game a bit more facing down. But sometimes when you want to do that, you actually play at the top and leave more of the bottom squares open for moves later. Triple try is a complex game. I don't think there's a rule of thumb, but it's like, one way to think about it is like, let's say your hand is a 10 facing down and they have nothing that can contest that, right? There's kind of two things you could do. Or like, there's many things you could do, but one thing you could do is start playing cards at the bottom of the board, right? So that any kind of way they interact with the cards on the board, your 10 will be facing the action and will be this unstoppable force. But you could also start filling up squares near the top, because like if 2 is filled, then anytime that card with an A down lands in 1 or 3, it is completely safe and maybe can help lock in another card, right? If you're stronger going down than they are going up, that could mean you have safety at the top of the board, and it could mean you have things to attack at the bottom of the board. Now, with a move like 2-2-4-4 and 2 or 8, you are not directly doing either of those things. But the question is, are you blocking 8 such that 7 or 9 now only face up in ways your opponent has difficulty attacking? Or are you playing 2, leaving more of those bottom squares open such that you'll be able to land stuff later, and such that also anything they put near your card in 2 or in 1 or 3, you have easy ways to attack because you have more ups than they have downs. And so one thing I might think about if I was Midas is I tried the move in 8, and maybe it's worth trying again if I still like it, which probably do. But it could also be worth trying a very similar move in 2. Again, I'm not really looking at the actual cards, so maybe this is ridiculous, but it could be worth trying a similar card in 2, because it could turn out that actually takes advantage of the up-down weaknesses better, depending on how Tezuka reacts. And Midas has been very good, as I've said, at these responses to center starters. All right, my power rankings, my all-time rankings. Currently, Tezuka, after his win in TTAC 14 and his really good results around it, has moved up to 21st place. He is ahead of Piggyman, and D, and Broccoli, and Meta, and Scythe, and Ulti. Okay. And he is behind Kaus. This finals will probably move him past Kaus. I don't think he will catch up to Sir Smokes, but I think he will move to 20th. I think he will pass Kaus for 20th. That's kind of interesting. Let's do a quick comparison of Tezuka and Kaus while we're here. On the wins board, Kaus is at 54, and Tezuka will be at 45 or 46. Kaus has won more games. On the championships board, they both have won. On the finals board, this is Tezuka's second, and Kaus is 3, so Kaus is ahead in finals. For semifinals, Tezuka, this will be his 6th, Kaus is 5, so there's a lead for Tezuka. This will be Tezuka's 12th icon, Kaus is 9, so that's another lead for Tezuka. And Kaus has played how many tournaments? Kaus has played 26, and Tezuka's played 24. So they're very comparable on a tournaments played front. That seems pretty close to me. For overall win percentage, I would guess Kaus is a bit ahead. Yeah, Kaus is at 67.5, which is very high. And Tezuka's at 63.6. So that's a clear lead for Kaus. On the other hand, I think Tezuka has done it against stronger opponents. So, you could argue that either way. For my total achievement metric, which I talked about last time, Kaus is 16th with 3,000, and Tezuka will narrowly pass him. Will be the new 16th. Kaus will drop to 17th. So again, just very close achievements in tournaments with a similar number of tournaments played. Who has more wins versus winners? Tezuka has 8 coming into this tournament, and Kaus is 7. So Tezuka's lead probably grows. Midas repeats his move. I think his move last time was good. I suspect it is good again this time. I'm going to keep comparing Tezuka to Kaus. They seem really close, right? I think it makes sense that they'd have similar scores. What about win percentage versus winners? Tezuka's at 36%, and Kaus is at 33%. I think Tezuka's probably faced somewhat stronger winners, so it's impressive he's ahead in that category. Win rate versus non-winners, Tezuka's at 77%, and Kaus is at 80%. So you can see maybe a little better results for Tezuka against the best, though Kaus is 2-0 against Sujiro, and a little better results for Kaus against weaker opposition. I don't think one of those is inherently better. Like, the inkling is always to think, okay, who does it against the best is the better player, but I don't. I think at this range on the leaderboards, that's not all that important. Yeah, these two look really close to me. Yeah, it makes sense they'd be kind of next to each other. All right, cool. So that seems a reasonable place for Tezuka to land. Is he's right next to Kaus. He might be ahead. He might still be behind. It's going to be close. Probably doesn't quite catch up to Sir Smokes. But is putting himself in range of players like Sir Smokes, Chickeny, Karmazin, and is, potentially breaking into the top 20 here. Now, Midas here, I have 33rd. But he's 33rd really in a crowd of, great non-winners. So he's directly behind Mafi Josie, Jaws, and Kefka. He's directly ahead of, Bren's a winner, but Grat, Jadot, Dream Virus. It's really the kind of the cream of the crop non-winners, though maybe not the very, very best non-winners, but Midas now has the record for most finals without having won a tournament, so he has a legitimate case for being the best non-winner, the GOAT of non-winners. My guess is he's going to jump up. My guess is he's going to pass Mafi Josie, Jaws, and Kefka and make it into the top 30. And he will be then ahead of those players and just behind Virgil, Kazik, and Ulti, though he might catch up to those as well. Yeah. Midas is great. Great player. Playing at a really high level this tournament. And given that we're repeating the moves from a game I thought Midas had... No, I thought Midas got in trouble, but he also picked the wrong card to put in 9. And if we compare to that game, So what happened that game was, in this basically same situation, Tezuka played Rinoa in 2. And Midas played 6-2, 5-3, and 9, but immediately said he should have put 7-2, 4-6. And if we think about 7-2, 4-6 there, much like that game, 7-2, 4-6 is safe there. The elements are slightly different in other squares, and that might change things. For instance, if Tezuka then plays 7-4, 1-6, and 7 at some point, that's not safe to 5. That wasn't safe to 5-8, 7-3, and 4 last game, and it is this game. On the other hand, 7-4, 1-6, and 7 no longer captures 8. So there's going to be some subtle differences the players are thinking through here that I am, not. But 7-4-1-6 gets picked up. So we're going to see a different game this time. We're going to see something different done here. But my inclination is that Midas did something really smart, both these games making the game up-down, and that it should be Tezuka under pressure here. On the other hand, as I also argued, I think Tezuka plays this move 3 to 5 region really well for gaining advantages. Let's close the leaderboard stuff. 4-2, 4-2, and 9. Not the card he picked up. Incidentally, if you ever want to see my leaderboard, I'm sure I've linked to it in lots of places, but, if you can't find it, send me a message. There's all kinds of stats on it, from like total wins, total championships, but also rate of doing everything, who's the highest rated players active in any given year, what their ratings are, etc., etc. Win rate versus winners, win rate versus non-winners, icon rate, just whatever you want to find. And it's got pretty colors too. So here we see the center attack, right? We see wherever you go next to my center starter, I can play next to that and potentially create challenges there. So the first thing to note is Lunafreya in 6 is vulnerable to combo, though you might not want that combo, right? It's easy to imagine Lunafreya 6, 2-8-8-5-3. Yeah, that combo's back, but 5-8-7-3 lands in 5, and 2, and that combos through 5 to combo 6 to combo 9 and everything else. So there's some care needed there. That's not quite as clean as it looks. But let's assume for now that Lunafreya in 6 is controlled. That still doesn't mean there's a plan for 5-8-7-3 in 6, which is also a very plausible card to land in 6. So 5-8-7-3 and 6 is a candidate move. Lunafreya in 6 is a candidate move. The immediate combo does not look like it works. There's not really... Okay, there's also Lunafreya in 7, which both snags a card in 8 and is safe, right? And that's pretty promising in general. There's also something like 5-8-7-3 and 7. Also looks like it should be very playable. Yeah, I think Midas can look for serious advantage here. It to me looks like there's a bunch of ways to attack this, and I suspect at least one of them is quite good. If I had to guess between 7 and 6, again, not doing, great calculations, Lunafreya in 7 would probably be my baseline move. I realize it leaves you with really crummy cards for like an up-down game in some ways. Like the T might be kind of scary, but your 5-8-7-3 still plays really well. And that 7-4-1-6, one of 7-4-1-6 or Rinoa has no down power. So it's just hard for you to be in that much danger as long as you have 5-8-7-3 to dodge combos. So Lunafreya in 7 seems like, and now as soon as someone watches this video, like Seto will be like, you idiot, that obviously loses. But that seems to me like the safe tie, right? The move that's things can't go too wrong. Lunafreya in 6 is a much more ambitious move, and it's played. Lunafreya in 6 is played. The ambitious move is played. Now, one concern is that 3 is threatened such that you probably have to block 3 in the near future. So let's say no, that's not so dangerous. I was thinking, let's say 7, 4, 1, 6, and 1. It's really bad for Tezuka that 5 is his. Maybe not terrible, but it's a little uncomfortable. You want 5 to not be yours. This looks dangerous for Tez. This is the ambitious move. Okay, so one question is always, what if you walk into the combo? But if you walk into the combo, you're down 8-2, and you just don't have the captures. So okay, you can't walk into the combo. You can't go 3. Can you go 7? It's tough to go 7. You know, say you go Rhinoa 7, 7, 4, 1, 6 is just such a bad card. So that really leads me to 7, 4, 1, 6, and 1. But 7, 4, 1, 6, and 1, I think, just loses. Say 7, 4, 1, 6, and 1. Say they go 7, 2, 4, 6, and 3. Either card you play in 2 makes it 5, 5. And then they play 5, 8, 7, 3, and 4. They double capture to go up 7, 3. And you can only single capture at the end. So you can't do that, I think. I think Midas is about to grab second place. This looks to me like it works. And the center attack, sadly, is not paying off here. Just because that card in 5 never flipped. Yeah, so he's picked up 7, 4, 1, 6. It is just not a usable card here. Can you play it in 3? Again, you're just down 8-3. It's so hard to sweep quite enough to make up for that. Oh, maybe you can. That's a funny line. Okay, there's a funny line. 7, 4, 1, 6, and 3. Let's say 5, 8, 7, 3, and 2. Might not be best, but let's say that. You're down 8-2. You play Rhinoa in 7. That doesn't work. They have Roman gold coin for 4. But 7, 2, 4, 6, and 4 you have covered. And if they go in 1, you now have a combo in 4, and 5 has flipped, so you flip everything. But they have Roman gold coin to land in 4. And you don't have that covered. Yeah. And they don't have to go in 2 there. Just seeing a funny line. Alright, he goes 7, which I think is the more, I guess, sensible version. But it is safe. You still have a threat in 3. Does this do it? Seems like it probably doesn't. But fundamentally, if Midas goes in 4, you can play Rhinoa in 1. Because they have to block 3, and you'll have a double capture in 2. So you will tie. If Midas goes in 1, you can play Rhinoa in 4. And they have to block 3, so you will tie. If Midas plays in 2, you can combo in 3 and you win. So for Midas to have winning chances, he has to go 3, and you can play Rhinoa in 2. Did he hold? Are we all buffoons? Or at least me a buffoon? Um, oh, wait. No, no, no. Yeah, hasn't he held? Yeah. Great save by Tezuka. Wow. Good move in 7. I was trying to make the clumsy move in 3, but this was much cleaner. This was much smarter. I mean, it worked, so obviously it was cleaner. But he found a use for Rhinoa. And for 7416. And his problem was he had this huge down weakness. It was really hard to find uses for both these cards. Yeah. Excellent save. Really nicely done. Yeah. Good job to the players. Good game. Another good game. So this one, very scary for Tezuka, but he's precise and he saves it. Yeah. 2885, even in the games it doesn't look like it's going to do much, has been such a bomb every game. The level 6s have been so critical. Like 5873 has been so important in Midas's hand for dodging combos, for getting some +1s, for just a whole variety of things. But 2885 has been Tezuka's saving grace almost every game in a remarkable way. I missed a move in my write up. 589673. I missed 2. 48282 4-1. And we get a third tie. This has been a great match. This might be the best match of the tournament. It is a shame they're not actually playing for that much. But this is a great match. We will not. God, Turds is such a cheater. Look at this, playing 2 games at once. Cookie versus Turds, Doggo versus Joker. These are both turds. What a cheat. Ban turds. That's the big lesson from this game. Nice save by Tez. Looked real scary. Alright, are we done for now? Let's see. People have been complaining about the volume on my videos. I would only like to say I do not know how to make it louder, so here we are. Moment of truth. Are they stopping or are they continuing? Tezuka is typing. Tezuka mentioned there, hope I did not get the 4 element cards elements wrong. Yeah. Yeah. You get one thing wrong like that. I remember I was playing Delhi in maybe round 1 of TTAC, and there was this elemental rule set, and yeah, no, now I don't remember which tournament it was, but there was this elemental rule set, and I kind of it used to be that your cards didn't show if it was dual element. Sometimes it only showed on one side, so it was incomplete info available. And I knew one of my cards was rock, but it was hidden. It wasn't shown, and I didn't know if he knew if it was rock. So I explicitly, in a game that I had multiple ways to tie, tried not to show the rock element, not to show the +1, in case he wouldn't know about it for the next game. Now it turns out he was aware, right? I wasn't tricking him, but I thought it was a clever potentiality of like, it's just easy to not realize how the elements are going to land. All right, they're stopping there. I think this has been a really good match, and see you next time.